Welcome to the Nubian Spiritual Warriors Astrology Podcast.
My spiritual essence is Walamu Mudada. And this podcast is provided for those who are seeking wisdom on their journey from darkness into the light.
Key 2, Star Constellations. I am happy to announce that we will start an intermediate session. And in the intermediate session, these are some of the things that will be covered. Because if you have been in the, following along with the previous beginner sessions, then you have acquired, a wealth of knowledge. So this is going to be extended to an intermediate session. In the intermediate session, these are some of the areas that will be covered. Definitely the astrological planets, signs, elements, aspects, nodes, astrological patterns, Schumann resonance, neutrinos, sacred geometry, numerology, and also portals, key astrological portals on the face of the earth. The intermediate sessions will begin with the initial class on May 31st at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time or 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. If you are interested, leave your email in the chat so that you can receive a personal link to the session. The initial session will be a 15 to 30-minute overview. The sessions are online and the space will purposely be limited. The intermediate classes are designed for a small group. Again, as I mentioned, in the intermediate classes, you will learn the language of astrology. And it'll be a continuation of what you've learned in the beginning classes, but there will be things added. You will learn to analyze a chart. A basic analysis requires the synthesis of these four major components. An understanding of the meaning or attributes in each symbol increases the depth of knowledge. In some cases, a basic analysis can be done with any combination of the two. And instead of analyzing, say, a celebrity's chart in the intermediate class, you will be analyzing your own. One of the ways that we will do the analysis through the elements. Another way that will help is, say, the aspects as well as the elements. You'll become more familiar with these aspects or aspect analysis. We will be able to go more into detail because it will be a small group. We will also be able to go more in detail with a pattern analysis. So you have opportunity to look at your own chart and see there are any of these patterns that's within your own chart. So in the intermediate class, you will be able to analyze and focus on your own chart. We will put more emphasis on the nodes, such as the natal south node. The south node represents energy from your previous lifetime. It relates to what you have experienced or have experience in. These are things that you may have mastered or feel comfortable with or doing. It can include relationships. So you'll be in the intermediate class, you'll be able to look at your own south node and analyze it as it relates to elements, as it relates to aspects, as it relates to house position. So the focus in the intermediate class will become closer to you. In the beginning class, the focus is more general. So you just become familiar with some of the signs and symbols and language of astrology. In the intermediate class, you will be able to focus more so on your chart and get a copy of your chart. The natal north node. The natal north node represents your present and future. This is the direction that you should be moving toward. However, the choice is yours. The results of your choice is what creates your karma for the next lifetime. So we'll be getting more into that in the intermediate classes. Where's your natal north node at? What aspects are being formed to it? What element is it in? What house is it in? And what is it saying? We'll also do some studying on the Schumann resonance. This is one component that is not part of the beginning class. It's only part of the intermediate or advanced classes. Now, the reason why the Schumann resonance is important because the Schumann resonance is identical to your brain waves. As the Schumann resonance changes, so does your brain waves. So we'll be looking at that as well. We'll be talking about neutrinos. Goddess Aquaria, the neutrinos bearer. During the age of Aquaria, the divine feminine and the divine masculine must come forth. They are given the neutrinos from the great cosmic mother, the celestial mother, and the biological mother. So what are neutrinos? In the intermediate classes, we will talk about those. So you have a good understanding of what are neutrinos. We will also do an in-depth analysis on the inner planets. And those inner planets affect you personally, sometimes referred as personal planets. And what's the difference between the inner planets and the outer planets? We will talk about that in the intermediate class. Also, we will talk about eclipses, the portal that the eclipses create and form. So we will talk about eclipses as well. Now, if some of these things are interesting to you, make sure that you leave your email in the chat so that I can contact you for the intermediate classes. We will talk about sacred geometry and how important that is, because you can analyze many things, just not, besides using astrology, you can use sacred geometry. And we'll talk about the connection between sacred geometry and astrology and what does those symbols mean. And we'll go into the various portals. And the Lion's Gate is one. So we'll discuss those areas as well. The Galactic Center. The Galactic Center is the cosmic womb from which we come. It is our mother. It is our place of birth. While we are in the divine womb, we are part of the singularity, just as an unborn baby is part of the singularity within its mother's womb. It is completely attached to the life force energy of the mother. So sacred geometry will be one of the areas that we will focus on in the intermediate classes. Also, we will talk about numerology, the journey of the numbers, and we'll connect numerology to astrology. And what is that relationship? Because it's definitely connected. So again, I want to thank you for your time and energy. This concludes the basic lessons on astrology. If you care to continue your study at an intermediate level, leave your email in the chat so that you can join our small study group. Now, feel free to review the previous Key 2 Star Constellation videos on YouTube. High vibrations. Key 2 Star Constellations. Key 2 Star Constellations is a family affair. As a family or an individual, learn the ancient science of astronomy, astrology, numerology, and sacred geometry. The lessons are basic and engaging for all ages. They are insightful and empowering. Key 2 Star Constellations.